Grant Cardone is well known for his explosive fights with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, his honest confrontations with people such as Tai Lopez, 10X Growth Conference, as well as his craft, real estate. Hey guys, what's going on? Arno Jerry Summer here. In this video, I'm going to give you my personal insights, my personal perspective on Grant Cardone. We're going to be looking at the facts, the details, and it's ultimately up to you what you think about Grant Cardone after watching this video. Hit the red subscribe button to be the first to be notified when I publish a new video on YouTube. The first talking point of today's video is going to be Grant Cardone's interview with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm sure you've seen the movie, and if you didn't, then I definitely recommend that you do. Right at the beginning of the interview, Grant Cardone mentioned that he doesn't really like sales, which is not really a good statement to make, especially if you're talking about the subject.
I mean, I'm a great salesperson, but I really excel when I something about, I love doing it. Like when
I don't like sales at all.
It would be very much the same as me saying that I don't like Google My Business or that I don't like YouTube, because it's what I do on a daily basis. Grant says that he didn't enjoy selling clothes, and I can kinda relate to that because I did work at McDonald's and I did get fired.
I had to sell it. Like I sold furniture, I was terrible, I got fired. I sold clothes, I was fired from that job.
So I think you're only going to be good selling things that you actually enjoy. You can't really sell a product or service if you're not interested in it yourself. If you shouldn't have the passion in whatever you do, chances are your customers are going to pick up on it, and chances are you're not going to be good at it either. Moving forward, Grant makes a questionable statement about whether it makes sense to pursue a prospect that is absolutely not interested in your product or service.
Not interested is an interest level.
Okay.
I definitely agree with Jordan Belfort that you should only spend your time and energy on prospects that have a high probability of turning into paying customers.
Right. So for the salesperson themselves, though, how do you manage that situation? Do you keep trying to push or you go on to the next door?
Well, you definitely want to go, you definitely need a funnel. You definitely need,
I definitely am going to take Jordan Belfort's side in this case, because I think that no level of interest is a waste of time. Because if a person is clearly not qualified to purchase your product or service, or if it's just not the right fit for what they're looking for, why would you waste your time trying to sell them? Because you can move on, you can talk to 3 to 5 people right now who have more interest than the person who is not interested. Just from a logical sense perspective, Jordan Belfort is right. Why did Grant Cardone say that no interest is a level of interest? I think it has to do with the fact that Grant Cardone is an alpha male and that he simply wants to have a very, very different opinion. While Jordan and Grant have certain disagreements, they both agree that sales is a numbers game.
Having lots of people to talk to.
So hitting lots and lots of doors.
Or taking lots of phone calls.
Or hitting doors, or whether it's cold the phone, or doors, right?
Sweet spot.
Numbers game, you think?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Here Grant makes a great point on the importance of having more products before you start selling to a potential customer.
Even $100
If I hit somebody
product.
with a $1 product, I miss the guy that wants to spend $10,000.
So the
Or
idea,
doesn't see value in
okay, so
$1.
the idea is go work for a company that has a whole suite of products, gives you you can sell something to everybody, right? Basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Cool.
I do agree that just having one product or service is probably a mistake, because you want to give people options. People should have between 3 to 5 options, which will in return increase the probability of generating the sale. Just having one product is a hit or a miss, and it may not appeal to every prospect that you're talking to. Grant recommends salespeople to only work and sell for companies that have a minimum of 100 products for sale. That's going to be a little bit difficult for the average company, because how many companies do you know that have 100 products for sale? Here you can again see that Grant does not like to agree with Jordan. When asked if he is the better marketer or salesman, Grant gave the following answer.
Would you say you're a better salesman or marketer?
I'd say I'm a better businessman.
Better business. Which of the two, sales to marketing? What do you think about those two?
I'm a better businessman.
Better businessman, entrepreneur.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about, no, I'm thinking about being a businessman.
Well, the two couldn't really agree on a lot. I think it was very cool that we were able to watch this interview and learn a lot from these high quality salesman.
So that's the corporate.
Sure.
That's the corporate thing. And then the other thing, that's why I'm bad as an interviewer. I never listen. So fucking God, don't listen. So I.
Next up, we have Grant Cardone interviewing Tai Lopez. If you don't know who Tai Lopez is one of the most well-known internet marketers, and you've probably seen him through one of his YouTube ads. The whole point of Confessions of an Entrepreneur is to get the entrepreneur to confess to a mistake that they made during their time of building a business.
Tai.
Yep.
Confessions of an Entrepreneur. I'm going to be your priest.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to absolve you of all your sins, no matter how bad they are. Every entrepreneur sins. Would you agree with that?
For sure.
If you know anything about Tai Lopez, you know that he is a pretty narcissistic person. He is a great marketer, but he doesn't really like to tell you what he did wrong.
What is the most traumatic thing? Give me a second.
Any bankruptcies?
No.
Any defaults?
No.
Dude, I'd like to hear one of those big mistakes that you made.
Grant Cardone did a great job interviewing Tai Lopez and even pointing out that Tai should finally admit to one big mistake that he made in his business.
For 10 million.
Yeah, okay, so
that
another
pissed me
mistake,
off.
man. I need something worse than that, dude. Either that or you're just telling me you've never made a freaking mistake.
No, I've made
Come on.
mistakes.
Well, let me hear one.
Moving away from business, Mr. Tai Lopez agreed to having made several mistakes when dating women.
I mean, the most annoying stuff probably been with girls I've dated, more than business.
The whole point of the interview was to figure out what he did wrong so the viewers, meaning you and I, can learn from Tai's mistakes. But finally, Tai pointed out that his biggest mistake was that he didn't go big enough early enough.
So I'd say my biggest pain has been sometimes thinking just too small, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty normal that humans don't achieve their full potential, and Tai Lopez is no exception. We as human beings can be very satisfied if we achieve 10% of our true potential. So I think this is a definite mistake that every person makes. I think the kind of mistakes that we were looking to hear from this interview are more mistakes like not having a tech strategy, maybe not building a team early enough, maybe that he didn't treat people nicely. You know, there's certain mistakes that we were looking to gain from this interview where we could say, wow, that's something that I should have done, or that's something that I should consider, that I should think about to make sure that I don't make the same mistake Tai made. At least Tai Lopez agreed to one big mistake that he made, which was not to go big enough, early enough in his business.
Shakes, man. Sorry it took so long, man, but you know what?
No,
Better
it's
than it
good.
taking
I'm
another
glad you
30
did.
years.
Next, we have Grant Cardone's 10x Growth Conference. While I haven't attended any of his 10x Growth conferences, here's one thing that I know about networking. The reason why you want to go to a conference is not necessarily because of the content that they are teaching. You want to go to conferences so you can network. That's the whole point. I know people that have attended one of his 10x Growth conferences, and I've heard that it's been nothing but pitches. So they were bombarded by upsells. Now, upselling is a very popular form for a salesman to make more money, and it's something that you should expect when attending any conference. I can tell you that the success that I have generated in my business is mainly predicated on the relationships that I have formed. You're only one person, and one person can only do so much. But to take a look at the mathematical side of things, it costs about $700 to $800 for a ticket, and the thing is that it's not just the conference ticket that you need to pay, you also have to pay for your flight ticket, accommodation, so it gets expensive quickly. I would recommend attending a conference if you were to meet business partners or if your sole intention is to network with people. But going there just to absorb the information that's being taught by the speakers is maybe an expensive way to learn. I just personally think it's a lot more effective to gain information through watching YouTube videos, reading books. It's simply a cheaper source of information than a conference will ever be. Attending a conference is oftentimes inspiring, and you have the opportunity to meet a lot of people, and that's mainly why I would go there. It would probably cost you anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 to attend the 10x Growth Conference. So you have to ask yourself whether it's worth the investment or not. Last, I want to show you a video that generated a lot of negative feedback for Grant Cardone.
We open up or we stay closed. Every one of these people need to work. Let's go, open up America. What do you say?
Grant Cardone decided to let go of 42 of his employees simply because he couldn't manage them.
I let go of 42 people because I cannot train, educate, acclimate, and bring people into a culture if they're not in the office.
Grant Cardone had to shut down his office and 42 of his employees were laid off as a result. While it is true that having employees work from home that never worked from home is probably going to be a challenge. First of all, he's not really able to supervise the people as much as he would if they worked from his office. And secondly, his employees are put in a very, very comfortable environment where they may not perform as well as usual. So I totally understand his point. But from a fairness perspective, I don't think any of his employees would have thought that they would have been laid off just because of a pandemic. Grant mentioned that he would rehire his employees if the state of Florida opened up for business again. While I'm not a politician, I think that Florida is at high risk simply because 25% of Florida's population is over the age of 65. We have a lot of retired people living in Florida, and as you know, older people are at much higher risk than younger people because older people have a much weaker immune system on average. I just gave you my 2 cents. This is just what I personally think about Grant Cardone. And I'm the kind of person, I look at the facts and I don't really shoot a video on something or someone if I have nothing positive to say. For me, it's like I usually have a few positive things as well as a few negative things to say about something or someone. I always like being fair and I also like looking at the facts. I really hope you enjoyed this video on Grant Cardone. If you did and if you would like to watch more of my videos in the future, I would appreciate if you subscribed to my channel below. If you want to help me out, please hit the like button right now. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.